Two more?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they count as a celebrity. Duke Dennis.
Oh.
Yeah, me and Duke Dennis are the same for real. Anyway, welcome everyone to another Reddit video. Round of applause, everybody! As always, I've gone through Reddit to find some of the funniest and weirdest stories of the week for you guys to enjoy. Now this time I've gone through TIFU. I don't know if I'm a minute into the video, but it means today I fucked up. Oh well, I'm not monetized at the moment, I can just swear. And like the name of the Reddit suggests, it's where people post their stories of where they messed up throughout the day or week or whenever. Alright, let's get into the first story of today. Alright, user Zycon, Zincon, UpperDeckyCon. Today I fucked up by getting a large group of people to steal from Disney. Not today, but a few years ago. Oh, so I guess it's just IFU then. Well, okay. My family and I went to Disney World and did a 3-day, 3-park thing. We've never been, and this was a first large trip for a park. We started off at Animal Kingdom, and like always, Florida was hitting 90 degrees with brutal humidity. It was still hitting 50 degrees back home, so we were all instantly melting. Okay, wait, I'm British. 1 second. Siri, what's 90 degrees in, fuck.
90 degrees Celsius is 194 degrees Fahrenheit.
Other way round? Siri,
Uh-huh.
what's 90 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
90 degrees Fahrenheit is 32.22 degrees Celsius.
Toasty. About 20 minutes walking into the park, we saw a cart sitting in the middle of the walkway with a big tub of ice water and no worker in sight. I asked my dad how we get them, and he either jokingly or seriously said they're free with admission, just grab one. I took that at face value and ran up and grabbed a bottle for each of us. While I was doing that, another family came up and asked how much they were. I obviously didn't know, so I just repeated what my dad said, they're free. They started grabbing bottles too. Then a third family saw we were all helping ourselves and grabbed bottles too. One by one, people trickled and grabbed a bottle for themselves. 30 bottles later and more people walking up, the cart attendant finally shows up and starts asking for money to the new family that joined the hydration heist. That's a good word. Good word. We were still standing nearby enjoying our ice cold stolen water and quickly walked off pretending it had never happened. You know what, it's only water at the end of the day. Disney's just going to release a film and make 100 mil. They're not going to miss out on $30 water bottles. The only unfortunate part of that story is that the attendant may have gotten fired, but that's partially their fault for being gone long enough that 30 bottles are stolen. How do you leave product unattended and not locked down in the middle of the busiest amusement park on the planet? That is a great point. Sometimes you really have to pee. Well, be like an Amazon worker, piss in a bowl. Given how much admission costs now, it should be free. I mean, they have a couple of free water bottle fill stations, but that's not the same, man, and you can't drink American water. Shout out to Flint, Michigan. Oh no, Mickey is about to have my legs broke and is being sent to the gulag. This isn't fucked up, we should all be stealing from Disney. The fuck up was buying Disney tickets. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. Back to the video. Alright, next story by Ricky Rapid Rope. Today I fucked up by trying to bring my girlfriend breakfast in bed and destroying my body instead. Okay. My girlfriend and I just moved in together. Show off. And I had the brilliant idea to wake up early last weekend and make her breakfast in bed. Real wholesome shit. I made pancakes, scrambled eggs, coffee, even warmed up the plates like I saw in Gordon Ramsay's videos. I get everything onto a tray, start walking up the stairs. What I didn't realise is that our cat had left one of her little rubber mouse toys right on the 3rd step. One of those tiny bastard ones that look like lint until it's under your foot. I step on it, instantly losing my footing. Tray launches, food's airborne. I go down like a sack of wet laundry. Pancakes fly, coffee explodes on the wall. My girlfriend runs out the bedroom like she's heard a home invasion. She finds me groaning on the floor, holding my wrist with a pancake stuck on my back like some domestic shuriken. I tell her I think I broke something. We go to the ER, x-rays confirm fractured wrist. The nurse doesn't even react when I explain what happened. Just writes it down and moves on like she's heard the exact story before, which honestly makes it worse. Now my wrist is in a brace, my girlfriend has banned surprises of any kind, and the cat's still on the loose, presumably planning her next attack. See, this is your fault for showing off you have a girlfriend. Anyway, comments. Wait, the guy fell from the 3rd step. How fragile is his bones? Yo, go have a petit falou or something, brother. Top comment says no good deed goes unpunished, they say. My dad always said that. It seemed to be more true with life experiences lol. I rolled up to a stranded guy by his car who needed a battery jump. He hooked his cables up backwards and blew my alternator, then took off, leaving me stranded. That guy just... The guy fixed his car and left you for dead. Shout out to that guy. A lot of the comments are talking about how the cat did it on purpose. So following on from that, the next story we have is... The day I fucked up suplexing my cat, accidentally activating the other introverted cat's final form. So I have a cat. His name's Charlie. Playful, energetic and chaotic, and honestly acts like a cracked out tiger with commitment issues. Alright. He flops on my bed every night, belly up, paws in the air, looking all cuddly. So I started jokingly suplexing him onto the bed or couch during our play sessions. I mean gently, I fully support his back and land him on soft surfaces. I only do it when he's clearly in a play mood. It became our kind of thing. And here's where I messed up. We have a second cat named Momo. Good name. He's a total opposite of Charlie, introverted, stoic, and basically a loaf with legs. One day, Charlie and Momo were napping together on the couch. Everything was calm, and I, being the fool I am, decided it would be funny to suplex Charlie mid-snuggle. He lands like a champ as usual, but then Momo freaking snaps. This quiet little background character suddenly growls menacingly, for the first time in his life, jumps up and starts beating the hell out of Charlie after he watched his blood brother get folded. He chases Charlie down to the basement where I stood there wheezing and wondering what dark spirit I had awakened. Reminds me of those, there's one guy that posts like a bunch of cats, edits them, and somehow they rock up in like G-Wags or something. But why was Momo mad at Charlie and not you? I've seen this before when I've immobilized one of our cats to give him meds or to clip his nails. The other cat decides he's been given a rare opportunity to pounce on his brother. Hit him when them down. Oh cool, here's a picture of Charlie for context. Nice. Today I fucked up by assuming my travel luggage was empty before letting a coworker borrow it. Now, I chose this one in particular because it was the least explicit, but many times throughout this subreddit, I found that people people often misplace special toys. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. People often misplace special toys, and that's a lot of the time why people fuck up. This woman is a 37-year-old female, and she lent a younger co-worker, 20-year-old female, some luggage. The younger co-worker had a trip across country, and they were talking about what they needed to buy. I was trying to be helpful and offered her to use one of my suitcases for her trip so she can save some money. I get the suitcases out of my closet and make sure the smaller one is inside the bigger one, and make sure there's nothing in the bigger suitcase pockets. After a trip, I always make sure to empty out my suitcases before I put them up, so I didn't think about looking in them. But today I fucked up by assuming there was nothing in the smaller suitcase since I hadn't used it in 2 years. Why do I do this to myself? A couple of you are probably figuring out what's going on, but we're going to continue. I drop off the suitcases to a co-worker and go home feeling happy about my good deed that I've done. A day later I get a message which starts off with, "Don't be embarrassed, but you left something in your suitcase." I'm like, okay, maybe it's an underwear or something. Nope, she sends me a picture of a self-pleasure toy I barely remember having. Moment of silence was for both of us there. She even asked me if she needed to bring it to me, and I was like, for the love of God, throw it away. I'm panicking. I'm like, please tell me this is not happening. She is so young. She was so mature about it, and I'm over here planning to quit my job and leave the country. I immediately had to tell my husband about what happened, and we cosmic laughed. First day seeing her after this was super awkward, but we just laughed and went on, and I apologized profusely. Yep, probably hid it from the kids and forgot. My 14-year-old daughter, oh no. My 14-year-old daughter was helping me clean out the old okay, that we turned into a game cabinet, and she pulled out a tackle box. Never even registered in my mind why a tackle box was in there, as my husband has a shed of all his hunting and fishing gear. Oh god, she opened it and oh my god, I almost died. Yeah. It was literally stuffed with all of my and her dad's stuff, from lotions to toys to fuzzy handcuffs. Obviously, we hadn't been in there in years. Thank God she was a very mature 14-year-old and laughed it off. She's 32 now and still likes to bring that one up once in a while. Today I fucked up by trying to explain my old leg injury to my new Pilates instructor and breaking the other leg on the way. This is by user, oh, baby girl. I hate that I did that, but this girl hates working out, but I like biking as a means of transportation and reformer Pilates classes. Back in October, I broke my leg in a biking accident, took time off, recovered, and eventually was able to start Pilates classes once again in March. There's a new instructor who didn't know about my old injury, so this morning I decided to get to the class a little bit earlier to explain it to her, just to let her know about my history in case of any modifications that were needed. I got on my bike to head over. On the way there, I fell again, and this time I broke my other leg. That's not funny. Why did I giggle? So now I'm back in the hospital, scheduled for surgery tomorrow. Again. Fucking hell, another person that broke their leg. Get them the TIFU. Vitamin D, magnesiums, calcium, what's the other stuff that you need? Milk. 2 breaks that easily. I would talk to your ortho about bone density test. It could be a generic or diet related. But I had a cousin, exactly what I'm saying. You need the fucking petit filou. You need the milk. Alright? I had a cousin that died of bone cancer. Oh, and multiple breaks happening in short succession was the first sign he had. Maybe your cousin should have had pet. Moving on. Oh, actually, that's too far. I'm gonna end it there.